Happy Friday, beloved. I love the word beloved. Like, it's so Eon Levant Santish. You know what I mean? I just feel like I'm super duper elevated when I use words such as beloved. It just sounds very, it sounds very like conscious, right? Anyways, welcome to those that are tuning in for the first time. I just started this YouTube page specifically for these short stories that I have. That these stories are like stories that's happened in my everyday life, and they sound too good to be true. In fact, they sound outlandish, but ironically enough, these are true stories, and these are things that have specifically happened to me. So this page was inspired by some of you guys who encouraged me to put it on video and who encouraged me to do a podcast, which is in the works. So I'm working on that as well as a book. I do have a book coming up called No Filter. Um, like I'm motivated this year, so I'm going to tap into my talent or whatever. Keep in mind that I'm still an amateur at all of this, so this is still new to me. So work with me. Like, I'm far from a professional, okay? But make sure you like, share, subscribe, and also please give me some feedback. Into things that I'm doing right, things that I'm doing wrong, so that I can continuously work on getting better at it. As I said, I am a complete amateur. Okay, so with that being said, let's jump right into Fun Fact Friday about yours truly, moi. So this episode of Fun Fact Friday is about stressful New York, right? So I'm originally from, well, I wasn't born there. I'm originally from Haiti, but I grew up in Dade County. Okay, so shout out to the 305 North Miami Beach Senior High School. Go Chargers! Shout out to JFK. Shout out to South Florida. Period. Okay, so that's home for me. But I do have family that my paternal side of the family that lives in New York, right? So this was my first time going to New York. So I was excited. I was hyped because I'm like, oh, it's New York. You know, you see everybody gassing New York up and talking about how great New York is, the Big Apple, and you see, how spectacular and bigger than life that New York appears on television. So I was hyped to go for the first time to New York. At this time, I was already in the Navy to go visit my paternal side of the family, right? So, of course, I get to New York, and New York is what I expected. It's like everybody is just rushing, rushing. It's like they're power walking. Okay, they get off the bus and they get off the train, and they are literally power walking, and everybody minds their business. Okay, so like in New York, like in Florida, we're not. I wouldn't say we're friendly, but like if you come across somebody, let's say you in the elevator or something like that, you're gonna actually speak and say, "Hey, how you doing?" But in New York, that's a crime. That's a sign of aggression. That's like literally a sign of terrorism. If you actually act like you have some manners and say, "Hey, how you doing?" and they literally like, "Yo, are you talking to me? Like, what's good, son? Yo." And you're like, damn, like they're really stressful. Like you just really can't make eye contact. You can't be polite and say, hey, how you doing? Me personally, if I'm in the elevator with a stranger that I don't know, because for all I know, this person could be a serial killer, a rapist, an axe murderer, a psychopath. It just, even though he's probably still a killer and a psychopath and all these things, right? But I just feel like it makes me feel better. Like it lessens the stress when we're in this small confined box to at least speak and say, hey, how you doing? So at least that person knows that, listen, this person has a soul, has a conscience, belongs to somebody. If I was thinking about chopping their asses up, you know what I'm saying? Now the fact that they at least, did a little icebreaker, like, hey, how you doing, Mr. Crazy Man? They might not kill me, but that's just my thought process, right? But in New York, literally, I mean, it's an act of aggression to speak and say, hey, right? Like, even the bums, like, I had a bum ask me for $1 when I was in New York, and I was like, oh, my bad, sir, I don't have it. He called me a Jew bitch, okay? All right? And I'm like, damn, like, why I gotta be all that, sir? Like, you're homeless, and I really didn't have the money. I would have gave it to you, but you just cussed me out and called me a Jew bitch, which I didn't even know what that was. I guess that's a New Yorker thing. And no, Jewish people, I'm not an anti-Semite or none of that stuff. So I'm just telling you what the bum told me. So actually go take it. I'm sorry, not a bum, because it's not good to call like homeless person. Okay, because you gotta be. It's not a bum. That homeless person mattered. So correction, homeless person, not a bum. So anyways, right? So I'm like, whoa, like, I'm like, New York is just like, these people are like real wound up, real tight, like real aggressive, you know? That's really true. So this was my first time riding in the subway because I had heard so much about the subway. So I was hyped, you know, because we don't have subways in Miami. There's no subways, right? So no one told me like the dynamics of the subway or like when you're inside the train. So I really did not know. So I'm out there with my homegirl, whatever. Actually, no, I was there with my best friend. So me and my best friend were on the train and we're chilling and everything is good, right? Then all of a sudden it was like dead quiet. The train is just like moving along and you can hear that like outside noise that the train makes, right? Okay, cool. Then all of a sudden in the midst of this, you know, tranquility of riding the train, I hear, everybody, may I have your attention, please? Ladies and gentlemen, stop what you're doing. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, I literally felt my heart dropped, okay, into the bottom because I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, it's a robbery. Because how many like movies have I seen where it starts with, ladies and gentlemen, let me get your attention. Like, they come up in the bank and they sit there and they rob you, right? So I see these two black dudes, and not because they're black dudes that I fear for my life. Just if it was a white person, a black person, whoever, I'm not used to somebody talking about, ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention? Stop what you're doing. So I'm sitting there stopping because I'm like, holy shit, this is a robbery. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, shit, I got $5 in my pocket and a prayer and a hope. You know what I mean? So really and truly, if it comes down to it and they collecting everybody's stuff, like, I'm gonna be the first to die. And I'm sitting there like, dog, like, for real, I'm too young to die. Like, I just came to New York and this how y'all doing it. So I'm sitting there like, in my heart, I'm like, Lord, please, please, please don't let them kill me. You know what I'm saying? After they done rob me and all I got is $5. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell them what else they gonna try to take, you know, to make up for the money that I don't have. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, right? So I'm like, holy shit. So I'm looking around and I'm like real nervous. And I ain't gonna lie, my flight or fight instinct, you know, kicked in and I'm shook, yo. I'm sitting there like, damn. So I'm looking around and everybody's just like chilling. I'm like, the fuck, like, do you guys not realize what's going on here? Because I'm thinking they're probably in shock like I am. Because it's like, damn, they about to die and they don't want to die, right? Next thing you know, I'm waiting for this dude to pull out his gun or whatever, because I'm thinking this is straight stick up, this is straight robbery. This dude busts out in the move, start running, man, and dancing and doing all this shit. And I'm looking like, huh? Like, what just happened? And I'm sitting there like looking around, like, and then basically that's when I found out that they do this all the time. Like, they just want your attention for money. And I felt like a complete ding dong. I was like, damn, that's crazy. And so then I told my best friend, I was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, you know, you might think I'm a little bit stupid, but I really thought this was a robbery. And she laughed. You know what I'm saying? She laughed. But I say all this to say the moral of the story is this, you know, life comes at you fast and you never know, you know? So if you get ready or if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So I was ready, you know, get myself mentally prepared for this robbery. You know what I'm saying? so that by the time it went down, okay, like I would at least try to have a game plan. So I wouldn't have to really get ready, even though I really didn't have shit and they probably would have killed me. But that's not the point. That's just like the moral that I got for this situation. And keep in mind, that might make absolutely zero sense to you. But it doesn't matter because it's my story. So, I mean, you're just going to have to take it and eat it or do what you want with it. But that is my Fun Fact Friday for the week. So you get to know a little bit more about moi. So tune in tomorrow. Tune in next week on Friday, same time, to hear my next Fun Fact Friday about moi. Until then, peace, love, and light. Peace.